Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey. Let's break down some grades from the Cowboys' win over the Rams. Spoiler alert, they are quite positive this week. The offense, I give them an A. They were great. Even the passing game was fine, but 44 points? 475? Oh boy, that offensive line was fantastic. Not flawless. No one was flawless in this game. No one, but no one ever is. But 263 on the ground. Zeke and Tony Pollard, Freudian slip there, I guess, were nothing short of fantastic. That offense was great. Many of you in the comments right now already chiming in and giving out your grades here for the offense. I see a lot of A's. I agree. I mean, that offense, where has it been? It's an easy A for me. Like, the ground game, you're not going to lose a single freaking game when you run the ball that effectively. More on that coming up, by the way. But for me, I give it an A. Like, it's an A for me. If you want to go B+ or A+, sure, I'm not going to argue too much there. I got 1 A+ today. Hint, hint, that's coming up in a little bit. Offense was an A. The defense, meanwhile, kind of faltered down the stretch. I'm still going to give them an A. It wasn't as sharp at the end, but the game was well out of hand. Some of the defenders were out there, like 311 yards total. They made Todd Gurley look just terrible. 22 total yards on the ground. That defense was fantastic. Yes, they wilted a little bit at the end. I don't love that. Room for improvement. But that defense showed up. Where has that been all season long? That's what I want to know. It's long overdue. I'm glad it showed up today. So grade the Rams defense. A, B, C, D, or F. I am inclined to give them an A. If you want to go B+ or A-, I'm not going to argue that too much. He got mistakes at the end of the game there. Michael Bennett lining up off sides. Overall, you're going to take that every single week. That's good. That's what you need. All right, special teams. Almost perfect. I give them a B. Here's why it's not higher. Mainly because as great as Kai Forbath was on kickoffs, or on field goals, you can't kick the ball off out of bounds twice. That's not okay. Excuse me, Jesus. I give him a B. It was better on the field goals. 2 kickoff out of bounds. You had the weird fiasco on the coin toss in general, which we'll get to coaching on that part. It's only a B because Cobra Kai Forbath cannot kick that out of bounds. Got to be better there. But field goal wise, that was good. Give a B overall. Got a deal for you guys as well. Chatsports.com/Cowboys shoes. Check the description. Check the comments as well. That link is in there. Chatsports.com/Cowboys shoes. Let us know what you think on this one here. Overall, in terms of the shoes here, it's a fantastic deal. 25% off chatsports.com/Cowboys shoes. If you don't want shoes, all kinds of gear is on sale. Chatsports.com/Cowboys. 50% off. Go check that out. Chatsports.com/Cowboys. Deals are going to end soon, especially with the shopping season almost over. How about Jason Garrett? We don't like Garrett here, but we're also not blind. We're going to give Garrett credit. He gets an A. Now, I'm not saying keep Garrett, but for this individual game, we got to give him credit. They finally beat a team with a winning mark. They came out ready to go. Garrett had this team prepared, and Jason Garrett and his coaching staff out-coached Sean McVay and his team. Let's give him credit. Now, if you still want Garrett gone, I get it. I understand. But Jason Garrett did a fantastic job this week. The results speak for themselves. Whatever they tweaked, whatever they adjusted, it worked this week. With that said, this win does not save his job. It absolutely does not. So if you want Garrett gone, some of you are already doing it. Throw in your FGs. If you want to keep him, type KG. I think it's still more of the FGs. It's not going to, I don't think long term, this is the answer. We know this team is good. We've seen them play really well. They finally got it going for this game, but it's just the one game. They're still a 500 team. FG, I still think, is the correct answer. How about Kellen Moore? Mentioned the offense, how great that was. Give him an A, too. I was very impressed by the Kellen Moore offense this week. Of course, it's easier to say that when it works so well. But, I mean, they barely threw the ball in the second half. Especially in that fourth quarter, they just ran it, and it worked well. The early game play calling, I thought, was incredibly sharp, and I saw creativity. I thought he called a really great game. It definitely helps when you're just able to run the ball down everybody's throats, which hasn't really been the case so far this season. But I saw a lot of the pre-snap motion. I saw a lot of creative run plays, option looks. That's Kellen Moore. That is the Kellen Moore imprint, the fingerprint on the game plan. Kellen Moore, I thought, did a fantastic job this week. It's really tough to argue with the results, right? 475 yards, 44 points. A great showing by Kellen Moore and a great showing by the offense for the Dallas Cowboys. Overall, you got to be fired up about that, and now it needs to continue beyond just this week. How about Dak Prescott? He is next up here. I'm going to give him a B+. It was pretty easy for Dak, right? It's the end stats don't look incredible. 15 of 23, 212, and two touchdowns. They didn't throw it. That's like, a half of work almost. Maybe we'll call it 3/4 of work. If that had been a closer game, Dak would have thrown for 300. I mean, a lot of those incompletions were drop passes. He played well. I gave him a B+. You can give him an A- if you want. For the, frankly, limited sample size that we had in this one, Dak Prescott played very, very well. I was very pleased with Dak Prescott. Winston, that's not Dak's regular stats, especially if you've watched him this year. He played really well. He's a bit banged up with that hand, but overall, I thought Dak had a very good game. The coin toss ended up not mattering. Refs got it right, so it's fine. Overall, I was pretty pleased with Dak Prescott. And not only this, it's nice to have a game where you don't need Dak Prescott absolutely balling out and still losing because of it. And we're trying to get to 43K subscribers. We're at 42,703. So if it's your first time watching the show, well, thanks for coming by. We appreciate that. Subscribe. Hit the big red button on YouTube. We are less than 300 away. 43K, and we're going to keep you covered not just once the year ends, or not just once the season ends, beyond it too. Draft, free agency, we got you covered on that. All right, how about the ground game? Remember how I mentioned that A+? Here it is. Man, they were incredible. I mean, this was vintage 2016 Cowboys ground game. Like, they weren't quite perfect. There were a couple of mistakes, but Zeke Elliott had himself a day. 24 carries, 117 yards, averaging about 5 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. I see a lot of A+. Keep them coming. That's well earned. Craziest part, Zeke wasn't even the RB1 in this one. Tony Pollard, 12 carries, 131 yards, almost 11 yards per carry. My goodness. A touchdown too. I mean, Pollard obviously gets an A+. He was fantastic in this one, but great Zeke for me. A, B, C, D, or F? I think it's an easy A. A couple of that yards per carry was kind of dropped down because there were a couple of short yardage runs that he just picked up what he needed and didn't go beyond that. But overall, I thought this ground game was great. And I made this point a couple of days ago. The past couple of days, or games I should say, Zeke's getting back to his old form. We've seen it now. I think Zeke is back to non-Cabo Zeke. I'll just describe it that way. I give him an A this one. If you bet on the Cowboys, you're feeling pretty good. Chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free. Chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. Time now for some defensive grades. We didn't think about them. Antwaun Woods, welcome back from the injury. He gets an A. Maybe he was really fired up about that whole incident with the marijuana arrest. 5 tackles in this one, 1 tackle for loss. He was great. He made a lot of impact plays, capitalized at times with other players making plays in the backfield. DeMarcus Lawrence showed up a couple times in terms of pressure and beating his man. He'll grade out well and will have great stats. Antwaun Woods, that was probably one of the better games I've seen him play. And want to know how I know this? Todd Gurley did nothing. 11 carries, 20 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, this run defense was horrible. Entering this game, they couldn't stop anybody. It showed up today. Todd Gurley did nothing. Antwaun Woods gets an A. Common theme here, folks, is A's. Sean Lee, Skeet Crane gives him an A++. I give him an A. He was great. This was a vintage Sean Lee performance. Turn back the clock, make him plays. As long as Sean Lee has been around, he set a mark today. For the first time in his career, Sean Lee had a sack and an interception. Crazy, right? Sean Lee stepped up. Leighton Vander Esch banged up. Joe Thomas is hurt. Sean Lee shows up, has, I think, his best game of the season. So shout out Sean Lee. Job he did. Very, very impressive. Of course, we didn't get to everybody here, by the way, but Jordan Lewis also deserves one. So as a little bonus grade here, can I get some Keep Jordan Frees in the comments section? Can I get that? I think the Cowboys earned it. Let me know. Use that hashtag #KeepJordanFree. He was great today. The entire defense stepped up. Michael Bennett, though, stopped jumping off sides. Killing me there, my friend. Hey, Cowboys fans. Thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.